Flag is Up Farms. I mean, if a dream could come true, you're looking at it. This was my dream. It was the mission of my life to create a place for horses where horses wouldn't have to worry about violence. You know, in this, the 50th year of Flag is Up Farms, the whole life of Flag is Up will be visited during 2016 for the 50th anniversary of this wonderful farm that has become a part of our life and a part of the lives of so many people. Flag is Up Farms. Happy birthday. 50 years old. We don't have 50 candles, but it's 50 years old. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. As pretty as it's ever been. That's the office. It's not pretentious, it's not large. Upstairs is bookkeeping. This is what most of the visitors see when they first come. Here we are at the training track. 5/8 of a mile. There's thousands of horses that have trained on this track. And we just didn't have injuries. Why is that? Well, it's a natural surface and we take care of it. And it has a very level bottom and we use the right equipment. In 50 years, you just keep doing. And out in the center, we have hedge jumps for the horse that comes along that wants to be schooled in the jumping genre. It was an incredible adventure to have a place to go with those horses that might not make it in racing, but then would come back and make it in a different discipline. This track has been invaluable. And it's tended by only running hard, heavy equipment on the outside. Then when it rains, you can jog on the outside. When you have really heavy, muddy conditions, you can still jog on the outside. So here's one of the more modern things that have happened on Flag is Up in the past couple of years. We've installed a 12-horse oval walker. You will hear that it's quiet, and the horses get to travel about 80% of the time with the spine straight. They don't have to keep going in a circle, which creates a lot of inflammation in the joints. Now I want you to listen. We're right in the midst of it, but it's as quiet as can be. That was really important to me in creating this, so that the horses wouldn't be stirred up with a lot of metal rattling and stuff. Here's the largest building on the place, 50 years of age, the indoor arena. 100 meters long, 30 meters wide. We have worked in this arena tens of thousands, not just a few thousand, but tens of thousands of horses. Our neighbors come in and use it too, but I think the important things are that it's clear span, that it's high enough, that it's ample air moving through, but the footing is the most important thing. That's what the horses have to have. And we have had no injuries, and they leave healthy. But watch this. We can morph this building into some of the most fantastic things you could ever imagine. A fantastic facility for what we do here on this 50 years of Flag is Up Farms. Here we are at one of our all-purpose training facilities. We call it the cutting pen, and we put cattle in here, and there's cattle pens down behind with a lane that brings the cattle in. And it's wonderful as a cutting pen. But we also come from the round pen into here before we go to one of the outdoor pens or out to the racetrack. It has a mechanical cow over here that is a flag, and it's run remotely with the thing you carry in your hand, just to get the horse used to movement and causing the horse to move with that movement. The footing is sincerely tended and 100 feet by 100 feet with a great fence and great footing. So what you're seeing here is the main yard of the main training barn on Flag is Up. And the circular bench there, made of stone, has been here for almost 50 years. We used to have a wooden one that didn't take very long to fall apart. But now it's a stone one with an old olive tree in it that's about 80 years old. This is our school. And it says Monty Roberts International Learning School. It used to be a surgery room for horses. And we turned this into a classroom. When the students started to show up, I'll take you inside. Classroom. This is where we have to put on our academic hat. The Monty Roberts International Learning Center. Join Up International is the 501c3 nonprofit that makes this thing run. I am just blessed with a chance to be the founder of it and to help as much as I can in the educational efforts too. So have a look at the classroom. Behind me is my workshop. Really what I call the heart and soul of the farm, because this is where the horses take their first saddle and first rider. This is where join up happens. But because I didn't want to take the guff that I took about, oh, namby-pamby, no violence stuff, join up, what does that mean? And there's no language, you know that. Well, we have evolved. And now the world knows there's a language. Even World Book and Britannica know there's a language. And there's a ramp around there for about 100 people to watch what goes on there. I think we've gone up to about 160, 170 people up there. The first one I ever showed here in the mid-80s, we stacked bales of hay up so that the people could stand up there and look over the fence. It's tongue and groove wood, so there's no cracks you can't even see through. But it's a unique building that you ought to be able to have a look at. It has a lot of unique qualities. Come on. He's affectionately now known as Skinny because he was captured just 3 weeks before the adoption took place. And he was captured near Death Valley, and come across him and draw him to me. That's join up, for which I will reward him. He doesn't want me to just come with that line so quickly. And then I'll walk away and see if he would like to follow up. Join up and follow up, all in about 3 minutes or so. And the first time he had those on, they were pretty scary for him, as you might imagine. And I'm going to let Gilbert be there alone with that other horse and just vault into the saddle. Well, now that seems really stupid, doesn't it? A Mustang, completely wild. At that time, they'd only been ridden maybe once or twice, possibly 3 times when we made this decision. And this is what we got. Any professional horseman would watch what's going on here and say, this has to be 30 days, 60 days, I don't know what they would say, but most of them would say something far more than what has actually happened. Okay, here we are at the section of the farm that's saved and dedicated to the school. The horses, we call them the professors for the students. And we can keep about 20 of them here. There's about 10 or 15 down in that direction and another 10 or 15 down in that direction. And a round pen here for the join-ups outdoor for the students. And then down at the end is something that's becoming a great favorite here on this farm, the gentling pen. We're going to go down there now and show you the gentling pen. We're at the gentling pen, and believe me, this has become a centerpiece of Flagazep Farms. We now are experiencing the fact that we can bring the wildest Mustangs in here that you could ever imagine. Wild as a deer when they come in. And in approximately 3 days, our students are taking them out and leading them over to the round pen to go through the processes over there. It is a fantastic facility. Here we are at the large outdoor arena, and it's almost 200 yards or 200 meters long and about 100 meters across. So it's enormous. That the footing is beautiful when you get it right. It's firm underneath, but it's level underneath, not undulating. And Pat has taken up, after 40 years of just sculpting, she's taken up showing again, competing in the working cow horse division. Yes, it's non-pro. And Pat, I don't want to tell you her age, but we were 1 year apart in school, so that'll tell you something. And she's the oldest person to ever win a year-end competition in the working cow horse division. The oldest ever. And this past year, she was the champion at the end of the year, for the year, in the working cow horse non-pro here in the San Ynez Valley. It's pride-making. It is a fantastic place, the right footing, the right fence, and we're proud of it. Our large outdoor arena. My dream was to create a place like this, Flagazep Farm, to create a place where horses didn't have to worry about the traditional part of training, which includes violence. It doesn't mean that every traditional trainer uses violence. I'm not suggesting that. But so many did, and so many still do. I'll keep working on it, but I know that I now have a place that I can call violence-free. And when I see that it's not, it'll be changed. It would be my hope that in the near future, a non-profit organization will take ownership of that property and create a mecca for nonviolent training. Not just of horses, but children and dogs and other animals too. That's my dream. I would love to see it become a place where youth at risk could come and learn about animals and learn how to live in the absence of violence. There's a lot of domestic violence still around. I'm working with it a lot. And then the military people, there'd be a quadrant for them. It could happen. Yes, it has to be funded. Yes, it has to be owned by a nonprofit. But look at it. One of the most beautiful areas the United States has to offer. I love it, and everybody connected with it learns to love it. Flagazep Farms, 50 years old.